Hey guys, hope you're having a great day today. Today I want to talk about the Stanley Handyman Plane. And this is a plane that I'm going to restore. And I'm going to restore this just to working condition. I'm not going to go too crazy on it. It is one of the cheaper planes that I have. And you can see it's pretty well rusted here on the iron. It's not too bad. I actually did another one of these. I didn't video it, but I did this one over. It's the same plane, and I did this over real quick. I basically put it in some Evapo-rust and just cleaned the iron, and you know, I polished it a little bit on the bottom with some sandpaper, and it seems to be holding up pretty well. So that was actually in worse condition than this one. So this is the one I'm going to take apart, and I'm going to put this in some Evapo-rust, and then we'll see how it does on the rust. Now the handles on this one are actually pretty good. I really don't like the blue paint, but that's what it has, and that's what we're going to leave on there. So those are pretty decent along with the bolt here. Not bad. Now our chip breaker here has some rust. Not anything crazy, but it is starting to get some rust. I'm sure there's more on the back side as well. The iron itself also has some rust, and it's got some nicks. Got some nicks in the iron there. This is actually holding up pretty well. Sometimes those get pretty rusted out. The older ones usually have brass. And this is the second plane I've ever really attempted to do anything with. I'm very new to hand planes and woodworking in general. I used to use mostly power tools, which I have some limited knowledge on. Not too bad. The other one was actually way worse than this one. But this one, I'm going to spend a little more time on than I spent on the last one. And the last one, unfortunately, I didn't really have the proper sandpaper, so I couldn't get it as flat as I wanted without going crazy and spending a ton of time on it. It's not too bad. Hardly any rust on that. The handle's actually in really good condition, and I come across these ones a lot. This one I actually I believe this is my father's. This other one I bought that one on eBay, and the paint was such a chore to take off here. Because I didn't have the right sandpaper, so it was taking me forever to sand it. So I ended up just using some paint remover, removing the paint. I think it's a lacquer-based paint, and then I just lightly sanded it, and I put boiled linseed oil on it. So that seemed to work pretty decent, and it kind of looks nice with the blue. Alright, so we have this all broken down. Here's the main bottom plate here. Has someone used it, looks like it's got some paint on the bottom. I'm not sure what it was used for, but this has been sitting in our attic for a while, and I just decided that I'm going to start off with this one. So let's get that all in the bucket. Now I'm going to use Evapo-rust on this. Let's not use the wood here, obviously. And I'm going to let this sit in here. We'll come back to it tomorrow. This is just an orange juice jug that I use for the Evapo-rust once I've already used it once. Now Evapo-rust, that stuff leaves like a nasty, slimy finish, which I don't like. Let me show the product so you guys can see. That's the product that I'm using, Evapo-rust, and I bought this, I think I got this at AutoZone or one of those car places. This was $20 and change. They also have it on Amazon. I'll put a link down below for you. I did buy a 5-gallon bucket, and that was about $70 or so online. But this is nice because it's smaller. I don't have to worry about it freezing in the garage because I can carry it in. It's easier to store in the house when it gets really cold. Now the other thing is they sell this in a 3.5-gallon bucket, and it comes with a strainer, so that might be something to consider. Alright guys, so I'm going to let that sit overnight, and then we'll come back tomorrow and see how it looks. I'm sure all that rust will be gone. I've used this product before and it works really well. It's mostly water. I think it's like 80-something% water. I looked at the sheet at one point. So it's mostly water, and then there's some, I don't even have a clue what it is. It kind of smells like rotten eggs a little bit when you're using it. It's kind of a weird smell. But the thing you got to worry about is when you take stuff out, it wants to flash rust. Alright, so it's been 24 hours, and we're going to take all the parts out and just clean everything with a brush, and then I'll start getting some sandpaper out and taking care of the iron and the sole of the plane. So I'll get started with that now. Now these are the water stones that I use. Dongerton, I guess. So let's put these in here. Dongerton? I don't know how to say that. So we'll let those sit in the water. They say to let it sit for about 15 minutes. And here's how everything looks. Here's how it ended up coming out. Pretty good. Very clean. This didn't have any rust on it anyways. And even these parts come out pretty good. And the older ones actually be made out of brass. I'm not sure exactly what that material is. The chip breaker, really nice looking. And you can see it's badly damaged. Not awful, but it has some chips in it. You can see there. So I probably did that when I was younger, to be honest. Alright, so that's all cleaned up pretty good. Next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get out some sandpaper. And we're going to see if we can flatten this thing down a bit.